Hello everybody, it's DUCKVILLE. We've got a little bit different. We're going to do something a bit different here today. I am actually going to be... This is a little bit more of an analysis cast. While I am actually in this game, I'm the red Terran up at the top right hand side here. It's not actually going to be about me. It is going to be about the blue Zerg player down in the bottom left hand side here. So what we're going to do is just going to quickly talk about what this is partly for, and then what we'll do is we'll get into the analysis. So it's not really going to be about as much commentary or anything like that. Although, if you guys are interested in me putting out this kind of stuff, then I'm certainly happy to. Please just make sure you comment and like the video and all that kind of stuff, and you know, let me know that you want to see some more just sort of basic analysis kind of stuff of matches, because I am more than happy to do it. Of course, if you want to see me doing it live, then you can jump onto twitch.tv/DuckVilleLol, and when I am doing my own streaming and playing some of my own games, normally after each game I'll jump back into the replay and have a look through my own various issues with my play. But what we're going to see here is a TvZ, of course, featuring our blue Zerg here, FizzingSlit, who is a gentleman from New Zealand who is actually doing this. He's actually never played StarCraft 2 before, or StarCraft 1, and is going to be making like a little documentary about playing and as about living and practicing as a pro gamer, trying to become pro from having never actually played before. So it's unlike some of the other documentaries that have been in production, air quotes, through the StarCraft community for quite a while. This one, it looks like it is going to be a lot of fun. It's not a huge task, and as we said, having never played, he's going to dedicate the next month to training like a pro with the help of friends, pro gamers, and various other esports community members. The documentary will follow the highs and lows of what it is to be a pro gamer. So what I'm doing here is just cutting out a little analysis video of a game that I happened to play. This was just on the C ladder. Had the fortune of catching FizzingSlit here in ladder, and I'm going to be executing a particular strategy that I copied, or let's say, yeah, just completely stole from Liquid Tasia. If you watched Mafia versus Tasia on my channel, you'll see exactly what's going on here is very similar to that. We've got the proxy racks with the gas up on 12 so that you can get some gas coming in. Reaper on the way, and it's going to be some Reaper harassment here against our Zerg player. So let's talk about a couple of things that we can already see that are a little bit of an issue. Firstly, of course, the first Overlord did get across, but unfortunately it didn't actually scan out exactly what's going on this side. Another issue, perhaps, is that on this particular map, just because it's close spots, you may actually want to go for a drone scout, just so that you can see if the Terran is proxying something. It's very common to see Terrans proxy racks on this map, whether it be over here on this side, perhaps over here as well, and of course this one here, which I am using as a very quick way to get those Reapers out. Now, of course, the Reaper's not exactly the most death-dealing unit these days, just because of the changes to the way their weapons work, but as we can see already, just the one kill, of course, getting out there. With now with two Reapers out, things are going to start to get a little bit more frustrating. So as I said, how could we have dealt with this? Well, of course, this Overlord should have probably just had a quick check to see what was going on near the main, or at least come to the back here and check out if there is an expansion going on at that the natural for the Terran. And then, of course, you know, your second Overlord, this guy here should not be in this position. He should either be probably somewhere around at the when the hatchery is building, should be hanging around to make sure you can spot if there is a bunker going down nearby. So after that, like, I mean, there are a lot of Lings coming out. Ling's not the most fantastic unit at dealing with Reapers, especially when they're in a bunker. Of course, because Reapers do regenerate their health, they're faster than slow Lings on creep. In fact, they're faster than that. But as we can see, we are going to have a reaction of Roaches and Banelings. So looks like a double response is perhaps not the best way to go. Now, I believe I was able to scout this, yeah, saw the Roach Warren, but didn't actually see the Baneling Nest, but it's a very sort of common response from Zerg players to see a Baneling Nest, or just like some heavy counter pressure to try and get the Terran back after all this damage that they've done. So You can see the hatchery is getting extremely low right now, and that's just from the 3 Reapers, so you really want to get out there before that goes down. Of course, we can see that there are a couple of banelings now morphing in. Banelings are... I don't know if they're necessarily worth the investment to actually take them out, because of course, to take out a bunker, because, you know, the banelings are going to cost you some gas, will cost you a lot of gas, I should say, and they can, you know, there can be some issues with them actually, you know, just because it's like a fire and forget sort of thing, where once, you know, once they've blown up, then they ain't coming back. So I think roaches is perhaps a better response here, and that hatchery really should not have survived. Now, the way you could deal with that, of course, is to get those roaches out, get them down at least to start pressuring on that bunker, make the SCV repair if the SCV was even there. I think I sent the SCV back home, but you can, of course, you know, send the units down. You need to try and bust down that bunker. Of course, the Reapers will do quite a lot of damage in the meantime and probably take out some of your lings, some of the, and maybe even a roach or two if you're lucky, but the hatchery needs to stay alive. And as we can see here, FizzingSlit lost that, so the production at the moment is still quite far behind where it should be right now. Of course, my production is quite far behind. This was actually one of the first games in HOTS that I played, because I hadn't played for 4 weeks or something like that. My macro is still actually quite terrible right now. So, as we said, looking in a pretty good position right now. We've got the armor going up down the back. Of course, we've got 2 factories out now, looking to get down some more units and some more factories very soon. But as we can see, Reaper just going to go check out what's going on. The Ling's now taking care of that. The lair is on the way. So we've got upgrades coming along. So this is the thing, I was able to see that there was the baneling nest, of course, the lair also morphing in, and roaches. So to me, this is a little bit of a worrying sign, just in case drops were coming, because of course mech is a little bit slower with how things get done. Also, of course, a possible bust could have been on the way as well. So at this point, of course, that customary reaction that we see from Zerg players after they've had some pressure like that, especially if it's successful and it takes out the hatchery, is that they will just try and counterattack and get some damage done. Now, this particular portion of the game here, this is where there was a pretty big issue right here, right now, which we'll see in just a moment. He's about to run up the ramp. The Reaper did see everything that was coming, going to head back inside the bunker. Thor and the 2 tanks in the back. So this is a part where, you know, instead of just running brazenly in like that, it would have been much nicer just to see a Ling run forward, just to see, so that the Ling can scout out what's going on. You know, is there a wall here? Are there tanks out? Is the Terran player prepared for what I'm about to do? So I think that was a slight issue there from FizzingSlit, just sort of just like automatically running in, as a lot of the sort of the lower league players will tend to do, is just sort of run straight in brazenly and not actually just sort of think about, well, you know, there could be something going on here and he could be well prepared for this. I mean, all that was spent was about 3 Reapers trying to get that pressure off at the front, and, you know, back at home he should have quite a lot of units and a lot of defenses ready to go. So what I would really like to have seen here, instead of getting these Lings out, you know, maybe some of the Lings just get to control the Zelnaga watchtowers, is to set up the 3rd hatchery, get that going, so that because of course you get to this point and you come in and you see there's quite a few tanks, and I'm pretty sure he would have seen that Thor there, signaling that it is going to be a mech play. So putting up the 3rd hatchery as quickly as possible is a pretty good thing to do, helping out with you know, getting your economy going, a little bit of extra production as well, and you can actually get it running, just simply because mech is of course very slow. It's not the average sort of style where you would be running around the map doing drops, all these kinds of things, and so just that extra economy would have been nice. But as you can see, he's going to get a few banelings up. We're still sort of waiting to see exactly what style of play he's going to go for, so I'm not actually sure if there was sort of a build prepared or anything like that, but it looks as if we're just sort of throwing out all sorts of things here, because there are hydras, there are roaches, there are banelings, and you know, the Evo chamber upgrades have only gone for carapace at the moment. So what we would really want to see at this point is a real boost in the economy, throwing down the hatchery, the 3rd hatchery, getting a lot of drones out, and just also making sure that this kind of area is defended quite well. a lot of players you'll see will throw down Evo chambers here at the front, or just some sort of building to block off this front section, make it a lot harder for units to get through, just because it's very common, of course, to see these kinds of units running through, just burning up drones, and at the moment this is extremely open. So when you see mech, or just in general perhaps against Terran players, because most people will try and do it, is to get like a wall at the front, just so you can protect the front door. You can have a spine crawler or two, and you know, just sort of make sure that that front is protected, because these guys will do all sorts of damage if they are allowed to just freely get inside the natural base here. So the third base is on the way finally. We've got that hatchery halfway done. The drone count is slowly starting to boost up, but we can just see there's a lot of extra sort of production coming along with the infestation pit, and of course with, you know, just these sort of banelings coming along, which aren't actually the best defense. The Hellions will come along, roast them up. They should be fine with a little bit of micro there. Just going to pull them back, lose a couple, but it's not actually too bad. Just send in one at the front, and then you should be good to go. Wait. There you go. Alright, so the Hellions actually, they went down just a little bit here, but as I was saying before, if there's no choke point, this is what happens. You get inside the natural base, the drone count will not only fall down to 30, but even further, as we can see there. Just so many drones getting roasted up, 22 down in total. You know, this is just putting our zone player in a very tough spot right now. 22 drones out at the moment. We've got some roaches that have popped out for defense, which is all well and good. And then there's this extra expansion that's gone through up at the top side, which is really, really cool. And you know, we probably could have had these a little bit earlier, and with some, you know, with a spine or two here to defend this base, even a spore crawler as well. All of these bases could be up and running, and the drone count would be a lot higher, but over on my side of the map, we got a lot of Widow Mines out. I've been playing a lot with Widow Mines. They're really cool, especially when you get the Drilling Claws upgrade. Anyway, so the mech is slowly coming about here. We can see that there is a drop on the way with 4 Widow Mines. This was another small issue I found with the way that FizzingSlit was playing, was that there was no real defense. Like, there's one queen here. At this point, you've got to be a little bit worried about your drones getting attacked by various sorts of plays. The roaches do come through to try and take care of this, but of course, you know, without, I suppose they've got the 2 overseers here, so they do take those out, but losing quite a few drones in the process, also losing some of those roaches as well. We've now got mines just absolutely all over the place, because this is the kind of thing that I'm having a lot of fun with, is pushing out Widow Mines and then just dropping them all over the place. One thing, a small tip for the Terran players, which I found really, really weird, is that the mines won't target larvae, but they will target eggs. I don't know what's up with that. That's really weird. Yeah, this is the sort of point where we look at the army supply and we say, alright, he's got 28 supply, and there's been so much investment into the upgrades. Of course, we can see that, whoops, we'll just get rid of that. Of course, you know, the +1 on the melee attacks. We've got the Hydra Groove Spines, but no Hydras. We've got +2 missile attacks, but no, you know, only the roaches are out. They're not even out defending the map. So these are just some of the issues that you know, a lot of players will have when they're starting out learning the game, is that just sort of getting used to the pace of the game, getting used to people using drops, using all these kinds of Hellions and things like this, and just sort of preparing for these kinds of things. So at the moment, some of the really big key things that we're looking at, number 1 is the choke point at the natural. This has to go down. Otherwise you will face those Hellion run-bys, and they can do all sorts of damage. Number 2 is perhaps a little static defense if you're feeling behind. I mean, throwing down 1 spine crawler in the middle line here may help out. Throwing down a spore as well, that's 2 drones, and if you can save 2 drones with that, that could really help out. And of course, you know, this 3rd base should have gone up a lot quicker. The 4th base going up now is very, very cool, but it seems as if we're having some trouble with the Widow Mines that are around the map as well. So there is just a lot of passively enforced pressure on the map at the moment. Also, link speed is not done. What happened with that? Okay, it's not even started. We're missing a second gas here as well. Hive is now on the way, which is of course nice, but unfortunately, just because of all the delays, whether it be because of the slow reaction to the bunker pressure or the you know, the slow third base, the various run-by harassment that's been executed, it's come along very, very slowly. And as you can see here, another Widow mine inside the main base is going to cause even more disruption. Now with these Lings, no speed. Ling's not even doing that well because there are so many Hellbats out. These guys have got 1-1. They're about to get 2-2. And pretty much from here, with a big-ass mech army like this, with a lot of tanks, with a lot of doors, it's pretty simple just sort of movement, just to run through here and take care of this quite easily. But yeah, so just a few issues there for FizzingSlit to work on. Of course, you know, when you're starting out and you haven't actually played the game ever before, there's a lot to work on. Of course, the fantastic part of StarCraft being that there is just so much to learn. There's such a high skill ceiling, and it could take quite a long time, but it's obviously a very admirable task to give it a shot. So that is pretty much the end of that. There's the GG. So make sure you jump on to the Two Guys One Box YouTube channel. You can have a look at the trailer for the upcoming project that they're doing. It's going to be really cool. You should have a look at that yourself. Of course, as I said, if you want to you know, if you guys want me to do some more kind of stuff like this, whether it be actually looking at my own play, or whether it is perhaps looking at a replay you can send in, or maybe if I actually just do some casts in this kind of style with the analysis, instead of general sort of commentary, then, you know, let me know, because I'm more than happy to do it. Obviously, I'm not like a high-level Grandmaster player or anything like that, but, you know, I've been around StarCraft since, well, almost the beginning of StarCraft 1, so sort of the general sort of mechanics, tactics, all these kinds of things is well ingrained. So happy to do more if you want. As I said, make sure you check out Two Guys One Box for their upcoming the StarCraft FizzingSlit story trailer and more, and I'll catch you all next time. Big map, very vulnerable to the drops, just as they are to the Oracle attack. So you know, you do have to be careful of that kind of thing. So it looks like Ognis will try and go for a drop down at the back of Squirtle's base. He's up to